A warm welcome, Patrick Kofler, Head of IR of Zalando. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Let me start first by congratulating you for a fantastic result in the Europe Executive Team Survey 2020, where you achieved a top position in the retail sector. What a fantastic result. Many congratulations. Share with us your views on the award and what that means to you, your team, and your management, please.
Yeah, thanks, Amani, for giving me the time today. Yeah, so first of all, we're totally honored about that prize. That's always a proof point for our IR work, which is to some extent always hard to measure. So same applies for the team members as well as other stakeholders, not only the management, but also guys in our finance department or in other related departments, because that's always something where they really see then an impact they have and what we're doing, instead of just asking additional informations, be it figures or even something on the business case. So that's always a really, really good thing where we absolutely happy about that. And yeah, the challenge for us is then always to prove also in the next year that that has been not just like a one-time wonder, so to say.
Yes, I think your company did really well over the last 12 months period during the crisis. Nevertheless, it was a crisis and we went through an unprecedented period. Share with us your tips and tricks that you've had up your sleeve that allowed you to provide the continuity that your investors needed from you.
Yeah, well, of course, also the first lockdown in March even hit Zalando also unexpected, and from that day onwards, we after a short time of period, we reached out to our top shareholders to do a first sounding, to give them an idea what we are currently doing, because also internally we turned the company within rather quick time by 360 degrees, so to say. And that definitely helped us. Then secondly, also after the initial update where we just rather outlined how we do it now, ensuring the safety of our employees, ensuring the financial success of the company, and lately then also helping other in the retail industry. We were then able to also give regular updates. Yeah, so we did trading update, the first trading update in April. We initiated a CEO letter where we gave more information how our security standards, especially in our warehouses, things. So we gave out a lot of information, which definitely helped. And yeah, we are probably then one of the lucky ones that from April, May onwards, the situation already improved on our end because we are an e-com business. And had to then again turn the company again for quite some degree, and could get to a more course of a normal business. And from that one onwards, also with the virtual setup, we need to make sure to have the right reach, to reach activity to our investors, set up meetings as always in a virtual way after our quarter release. What we invented as a new tool was to host a fireside chat with our CFO just after our results. And this fireside was recorded and afterwards put on our website, so everybody was able to listen into the so-called FAQs and also the main message we gave, and try to capture the most out of that instead of traveling around the world, which at that point was not possible.
Very good. You just mentioned the fact that you're obviously an e-commerce business. Digitization in IR has been a big buzzword over the last few years. We all very rapidly adopted over the last few months technology and technological platforms. Share with us a little bit your journey in terms of IR digitization. What are the tools? What are the systems that you're using to make your IR work more effective?
Well, first of all, I think it's a flower bouquet of things what we can use. Yeah, so digitalization, at least for some of them out there, is about having an own email address. So that's definitely something what we already having. But then also using tools where we can make sure we're going to get the right information on investors. We have enough information on that. we are as transparent as possible when it comes to our website. So as I just said in the earlier question, also being very proactive on our website to make lots of the information transparent. So it's not only a roadshow presentation on our website, but also we have a fact book where you can dig deeper into that thing. So that's something what we have done so far. Still, I think where still there's room for improvement is like these standard daily stuffs. Yeah, so really on the reporting period, like what can be more and more automated in that case, where I currently don't have an exact answer on that one, but something which we would hopefully gonna tackle in the next 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, very good. And obviously ESG is a big topic for yourself. Share with us where you're at in terms of your ESG journey, and what are the areas that you're working on, the events that you're organizing, but also how do you reach alignment with investors on that front?
I think we have been, in that case, a very early adopter when it comes to sustainability. We launched in 2019 our Do More strategy, where we clearly communicated a strategy with a clear long-term vision and specific goals we work towards. In the end, we can cluster it in three big buckets. So one is people, one is planet, and one is the product. In the end, we want to make Zalando into a sustainable fashion destination with a net positive impact for people and the planet. And that's what we're working towards for. And also since then, I think also investors turning more and more into ESG topics. At least a couple of years ago, for me, it was just rather an area and not really centralized in the IR. In the meantime, that has been growing more and more important, where we also started to staff our team with an educated ESG specialist, and which clearly helps and can answer questions and get information on this topic on a regular basis. That's definitely something what really has helped us, especially when we then look into the second part on the ratings. Yeah, there are so many ratings out there in the landscape. We defined some of these rating as must-have. We developed that. We worked into that one. In the meantime, participate in a little bit more than a handful of ratings, which clearly pays off. Yeah. So, for example, we have been ranked at the CDP ranking in the A list for the very first time, and did a big step up over the last year. So that's clearly paying off. Now the next clear step is then also like looking into investors, like where we can further improve and also bring our communication towards sustainability more upfront.
Very good. According to a recent study that we conducted, we understand that investors are expecting an increase in activism. Conversely, corporates are actually not getting ready for that, or very few have actually a plan in place. Share with us a little bit about the steps that you have taken, and how is that on your radar?
Well, I think activism has been there for quite some time. I think in the past, many always thought like it's rather for the weak cases. But in the meantime, we also have seen very big companies tackled by activism. So we take that topic rather serious. We have developed already a couple of years back a clear strategy and a clear plan, together with our corporate communication team as well as with legal. Where we now in the meantime also do have regular updates on such an action plan, including a vulnerability study, where we really look into our eyes and see like, okay, what are the things what are of interest here, and what could be, and where can we work onto that one, and then do have regular updates and make sure that we are very well prepared if such a case happens at some time. Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. How do you see certain trends, whether regulatory or other external factors, potentially impacting the function or the working of IR?
I think first of all, I think what becomes more and more important is first of all on the internal side to be a real consultant towards your management board, but also to other stakeholders. Yeah, especially at Zalando, I'm seeing that also stakeholders outside of the management board within the finance area are highly interested in what IR is doing, and really to keep them updated, and giving the right advice, or to what is happening on your daily business. When we then look into the external regulations, well, I'm always saying, like a couple of years back when MiFID was introduced, I gonna get a more precise investor meetings or more prepared investor meetings. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Then I thought with COVID, only if you really want to take the meeting in a virtual setup, you're highly interested in, but still it's there's so much interest, at least on our end, where I'm trying to see and trying to get my head around, especially in meetings when I'm seeing that the counterpart is not really prepared, and I'm spend another 45 minutes or an hour with them. So that's something I hope that at some times we are able to get even a better targeting or a matching in that case. And perhaps also have here, then coming back to the digitalization part, perhaps also a more automated kind of version, so that whatever you can listen into certain FAQs taped by the IR team or by a CFO. I don't know what the future will bring here.
Yeah, excellent. And now you've been in IR for quite some time now, Patrick. Share with us, what are your top tips in IR and absolute must-haves that you need to have as part of your IR structure or your outreach or tools that you're using?
Well, I think there are a couple of things into that one. So first of all, I think one needs to set yourself a bit of a kind of a cornerstones. What are the targets you want to achieve throughout a year? Dedicated apart from this daily job, then spending a bit of time on the daily job. So I think reporting, if you're reporting and if you're is not very well prepared, then it's super difficult to have a stringent story to tell throughout a year. So that's something what needs to be established. Secondly, and I think that's where most of the focus always comes into IR, is then of course the connection towards investors and analysts. I think somebody who wants to work in IR needs to be somebody who likes speaking to different people, also the same topic 5 to 6 or even 10 times a year, a day. Yeah, so that's definitely something what I would be looking for, and that's helpful. Yeah, and then of course you also need to handle your internal management. Yeah, so I think especially then this triangle with CFO and CEO. In my case, it's even 3 co-CEOs. That's also something like somebody should be aware of. So there's not only one dedicated direct report. It's more like you also need to involve the others and make sure, okay, that's the storyline you would like to tell, and make sure that you have set that up and you make your voice here.
Yeah, very good advice. We'll switch gear now, and on a lighter and more personal note, I will ask you a few questions, and I hope you play along, Patrick. First of all, name a historic person that you would like to meet, and what would you ask them?
Well, my historic person would be Mikhail Gorbachev, the former president of Russia. Why and what would I ask him? Like, well, as I'm a historic interested person, like I would be interested in like how he's seen that split into 2 parts into the world, and how he thought about all the things going forward, and what drove him to make that change.
Yeah, I actually met him at an airport once and shook hands.
Yeah.
So
Then you're ahead of me already. Yeah?
I couldn't ask him anything though. Security was surrounding him. Your favorite band or singer?
It's a German band called Die Toten Hosen, with the lead singer Campino.
Of course, yes. And a favorite quote from a movie that you use daily or regularly?
Well, I had a lot of discussion here before I was asked about that, and it's out of the movie Dude, Where Is My Car? And the quote is, and then.
Very good. Which one is your favorite board game?
Yeah, board games, especially during lockdown, and has been important. And currently, there are two games I really like. It's firstly the game called The Crew, a small card game, and the other one is Coal Baron, which is a bit of a bigger and longer game. But both are currently my most favorite board games,
Oh,
and I'm also
fantastic.
gonna play it tonight.
Excellent. And what's a personal objective for you for 2021, Patrick?
Well, first of all and foremost, at these times, it's like stay healthy, and spend enough time and find the right balance, even in home office situation with work life, especially with the family and my kids. So these are my main priorities for 2021.
Yes, I think that's true for a lot of us, isn't it? So I hope you'll be able to spend that quality time with your family. Patrick, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Again, congratulations for achieving the top spot in the retail sector in the 2020 Europe Executive Team Survey. Fantastic achievement. Thank you again, and hope you have a good year.
Thanks, Amani. Thanks for having that interview, and hopefully we talk next year again. That will
Yes,
be a good sign for me.
fingers crossed. Stay well.
Yeah.